All right, let's go ahead and work with some similar cylinders. This works for any similar 3D shapes. In this case, we're working with cylinders, okay? Remember, what is something that is similar? Something that is similar means that it is the same shape, but a different size. And diff size. As long as we are able to find out what a scale factor is, it can be helpful into finding out more about the shape, or if it's an enlargement or a reduction. If we're working with 3D shapes, there's a couple of extra steps that we need to take here, okay? So it is stated that cylinder A and cylinder B are similar. Find the volume of cylinder B. The first thing that we want to do is find out what the scale factor is. And we don't want to use the scale factor for a volume. We want to give a scale factor for like a unit of measurement, like centimeters, or like how long a radius is or a height is. That's what we can compare, okay? How do we find the scale factor? Well, in this case, it's going to be cylinder B, since that's what we're trying to find, right? We start off with cylinder A and then we're going into cylinder B. So it's just going to be our image over our pre-image. Our image in this case is cylinder B, which makes that our pre-image is cylinder A. Okay, the scale factor here, let's use these values. The radius of cylinder B is 6 centimeters, and the radius of cylinder A is 3 centimeters, which means that we have a scale factor of 2. And lastly, what we need to do is find out how can we compare that with the volume. We don't know what the volume is of cylinder B, but we can easily just by knowing what the scale factor is. So we are now going to say that cylinder B, well, the volume of cylinder B actually. So the volume of cylinder B over the volume of cylinder A has to equal K, which is our scale factor, cubed. The reason why it's cubed is because we're working with three-dimensional shapes, and the way that we measure three-dimensional shapes are in cubic measurements. So K cubed here. So all we have to do is just substitute these values and then manipulate the equation so that way we find out what we're missing. So we don't know what the volume of cylinder B is. That's what we're trying to find out. We do, however, know what the volume of cylinder A is, and we know what our scale factor is. So let's substitute these values. The volume of cylinder B over the volume of cylinder A, which is 45 pi cubic centimeters, is equal to K, which is our scale factor, 2 cubed. Let's go ahead and simplify this. So the volume of cylinder B over 45 pi is going to be equal to 2 cubed, which is 8. And then what do we have to do to both sides so that way we isolate the volume of cylinder B? We're going to multiply both sides by the denominator of 45 pi. Once this happens, that equals 1, so we're left with the volume of cylinder B equals 8 times 45 pi. Let's go ahead and pop this into a calculator. 45 times 8 is going to give us 360. So 360 pi would be the solution here, which also approximates to 360 pi. 1130.97. What is the measurements here? Centimeters cubed. So the main thing that you want to know is find the scale factor and then set up a proportion so that way you can find out what the volume is of another 3D shape. All right, that's it. Bye.